Hi. Hey. How's it going today? Well, my plan was yesterday, until Instagram, died, was to do a live about under eye discoloration, because that is hands down probably one of my biggest questions, because I'm always telling people, brighten in here, don't brighten under your eye, because it accentuates your fine lines and wrinkles. And that's true. You don't want to brighten under your eyes, but your brightener is also not a concealer. It's usually a lighter color is not going to cover up any redness, purple, blue, brown under eye discoloration, right? That your highlight color, your lightest color, is going to accent and add a pop to your eyes. But you need to still cover up like those under eye discolorations, right? Right. Okay, so that's what we're going to talk about today. Now, if you don't know what the heck I'm talking about, my name's Liz, and I'm an artist with Saint Beauty. This is the makeup I use. It's all in this palette. It's all magnetic. It's 3D foundation. You get a highlight, contour, and a pop or an accent highlight to make up your traditional foundation, what you would think of as your liquids, powders, concealers. All the things are in here in just one layer. And so I've been using this makeup for several years now and became an artist with their company because I absolutely freaking love it. I freaking love it. I won't use anything else. It is hands down my favorite makeup. It takes care of all my problem areas. And I don't have a ton of problem areas, but it takes care of the few that I wasn't able to figure out with traditional makeup. So that's what we're going to talk about today, is problem area under eyes. Okay, I'm not going to address all the problem areas, but a lot of these theories apply for those other areas, because if you have redness under your eyes, you may have redness on your face in other areas. If you have dark spots under your eyes, you may have darkness on your face in other areas. So a lot of these same applications are going to apply to those areas as well. So when I custom color match you with the colors appropriate for your face, you send me a makeup-free selfie. I come back and say, these are the colors I recommend for you. Sometimes I will recommend what I call a color corrector or something to neutralize. I like that word better, to neutralize. And you're never going to 100% necessarily cover everything up. And we don't want to, because our skin is beautiful and we don't want to put tons and tons of makeup over top and cover up all of our skin, right? So that's why this makeup one works amazing, because just a little bit goes a long way, and it also sits right on top of your skin, so it feels like a second skin and it moves with your skin. So if you were to pile on a concealer under your eye, a ton of it, and then you put foundation, and I've seen all these videos and people doing so much under their eyes, but at my age, I'm over 40, that's gonna show up as creasing throughout the day. It's gonna crease, it's not gonna look good. So the key to covering up under eye discoloration is going to be using a very light layer of the color I recommend. And when I custom color match you, I'm sometimes telling you, here's what I think you need to do as your camo color or a neutralizer or a color corrector. I'm recommending a color. Now, I don't always start off with extremes. We're going to try minimum first, and then if we need to add some more, we're going to add some more. So what I usually do, we'll say, let's try this highlight color first to camouflage any of those problem areas. And if that doesn't work, we can go back and try some of the tricks, which is what I'm talking about today. So now, under my eyes, I don't have any eye makeup under my eyes. I didn't put my accent highlight on either, because we're going to do this together. So I only have typically one type of discoloration on my eyes, and that's a blue or purple under eye discoloration. Now, let's start though with if you have redness under your eyes. If you have redness or pink under your eyes, if you put any type of other color over top of it, you're not neutralizing it. You may just be covering it up, and you may even make it look more red or more dark. So green cancels red or pink. So if you have red under eye discoloration, you want to stick with something that is green based. So I have recommended to people who have redness on their face or redness under their eyes to do a contour color. Stay with me here. This is not a highlight. This is not a color corrector. Nothing. This is a contour color, which you see I have contour here, and I put contour on my forehead. This color is called Aspen, and it's a color corrector, but it has it's a contour color, I'm sorry, but it has a green base to it. So you would want to take your brush and just, this is the blend brush, and it works really good, and just take the smallest amount very lightly and cover up that redness first. You just put a little bit down there, okay? And then you would take whatever your main highlight is and maybe use the other end of your brush. So if, say, I recommended mango to you as your main highlight, you might just do a little lightness of mango over top that aspen. So the aspen works first to neutralize that redness under your eyes, and then your main highlight lightly over it, and then you'd put your brightener here and here. So you're not putting it down here. This would be the aspen and then your main highlight color. Another color that works really great for redness or pink is June. Now this is a highlight color, but it has a green undertone. So if you have redness, you could also maybe use green, talking a lot of colors here and a lot of products. So June has the green base, so you could use June. Now everybody's going to be a little bit different, so what works for somebody and their skin tone may not work for you. So it's a lot of trial and error with color correcting, and I encourage you not to give up, to keep trying, because although something might work for me or might work for somebody else, you know, it might not work for you. So be patient. Now, what about the purple? So this is where I'm going to demonstrate, actually, because this is one of my areas, is purple to blue. So I often use Sunlit, which is a highlight color, under my eyes for my purple. And I just take a very little bit, and I'm going to show you in a second. And I just lightly go under my eyes. Now I don't have a ton of purple right now, but just look at this eye now compared to this eye. Can you see there's a little bit of that underneath my mascara there? I have a little bit of purple there. So there's a difference to when I put it here, and then watch, we're going to put it right here too. We're just going to go right under my eye, right where I don't get it like all the way down here usually, sometimes, but not a lot. But I'm going to show you anyway. We're going to just put the very smallest little bit under my eye here. Okay? And now we are not getting rid of, I don't want to say, we're neutralizing any purple or, you know, discoloration under my eye. So this works really, really good in that area. Now, then I would take, since we're on this, I would take my accent highlight, which I usually use Aura, and I've been using our new one, Versailles, a little bit. So, and then I'm going to take, hey Janine, I'm going to take a little bit of Aura in the corner, and then a little bit on this outer corner. See, I'm not highlighting under there. I'm just accenting in my corner and on the outside, but I've already neutralized that purple under eye discoloration, and now I'm accenting the corners. And when I say this is my number one question, this is always my number one question. So again, I'm just going to go back over. Whenever you whenever you're highlighting, don't highlight directly under your eye. We're going to color correct if you need to. Some people don't even need to, but I strongly suggest if you have fine lines and wrinkles, don't highlight under your eye. Instead, use your main highlight color. If you don't have any under eye discoloration whatsoever, just go under your eye with your main highlight color, just a very light dusting of it, and then accent in the corners. Okay, so what if you have brown under your eyes? What do you do? So brown discoloration is one of the most common under eye discolorations I think that I see. Thanks, Janine. So brown, you can neutralize with pink. So Frenchie is one of those colors that works really well on brown. But again, it may not work for everyone, but Frenchie is one that you can use. Another one is Petal. These are both lip and cheek colors. And I don't know, because I don't have brown under eye discoloration, so I haven't used this under my eyes, but Petal has a satiny finish, and I don't know about using that 100% under your eyes, how that would feel. Frenchie does not have that satiny like gloss almost on it, so I would, and I have used Frenchie before. I would start with Frenchie and then, maybe Petal. If you have a darker complexion, so your under eye circles are a lot darker, you're going to need to go more into the reds. So moving up to like a saffron or scarlet, one of those colors would probably, and those are two lip and cheek colors, would work to neutralize really dark under eyes on darker complected individuals. Okay, so lastly, orange cancels blue. So Frenchie has a little bit of an orange base to it. Yes, it works great for age spots. And I said at the beginning of the video, a lot of these colors are just going to work well on other parts of your face that you have discolorations, but we're just sticking to under eyes today. So if you have fair skin and you have purple discoloration under your eyes, or I'm sorry, blue, not purple. We already covered purple. Blue, then you could do Frenchie. But if you're darker complected, or just like medium to dark, we'll say, mango works really well. It has an orange base to it. I use this as my color corrector, and I also use this as a main highlight. It works great for me. It is my number one go-to. So this works for purple. I'm sorry, I keep saying purple. I mean blue. Blue under eye discoloration. So sometimes I get blue and I'll put this under my eye too. But also works really great for people who are more the medium to darker complected, where I'd stick with Frenchie for more fair to light complexion. So anyway, another thing you can do, and this is my last little tip before I jump off here, because I didn't want this to be too long, is taking your moisturizer. So this is my Saint Milk moisturizer, and it has a metered pump. So you can just do the littlest pump just to get a small amount, and then the color you're using for your under eye neutralizer discoloration, mix a little of that in to that moisturizer, and just take your middle finger and just lightly tap that. And that is another good way to do a very light layer of your color neutralizer or color corrector under your eyes is mixing it in with your moisturizer. And I use the Milk. It's very lightweight. It works great, but if you have one that's your ride or die, use that. So hopefully that helped answer some questions about under eye circles and under eye discoloration and how to address the different colors. I think when I talk a lot about only putting your brightening highlight here and here, people get confused. Like, oh, so then I just leave my under eye circles? But no, we're using something completely different. You don't want to highlight under eye circles. That's not going to help them or help you. You want to just neutralize them. So if you need a custom color match for me, you need help with dark circles, you need help with covering up other areas, let me know. Send me a DM or fill out the color match form in my bio. I added a new block in there that says, you know, about if you have any skin concerns, where you can just type in, you know, so that way if you have under eye circles, explain it to me, because you're uploading a makeup-free selfie, so I'll see them, but sometimes the picture doesn't say everything. If you know you have, they get really dark on other days, some days you wake up and they're worse, then let me know and then I can make suggestions. But I always start out minimally. I never want to give you too much, because what if the color that's your main highlight is going to work for that? I don't want you to have all these other things. These things I'm talking about are what I use when something else doesn't work. So, so I just want to make sure that, you know, sometimes it's not called for. Sometimes we can just use one color and it works great. So if you have any questions, need a color match, need anything, reach out to me, fill out my color match form. And thanks for being here. I'm going to save this. This was a live, but I'm going to save it to IGTV so that you have access to it all the time. And I'll talk to you later. Janine, thanks for popping on.